Fear can be overwhelming. Some say you can even drown in it. That's unfortunate, because my fear lives in water. Some say my fear is irrational, but it's just the same as others' fears of spiders or of heights. I'm slowly learning to deal with my fear. Luckily for me, I live in Kansas. No big oceans near me. I do well in aquariums, but I have to go at my own pace. So do not push or prod me to get closer. I'll get there in my own time. This is the closest I will get to these creatures. I'm surprisingly fine around sharks and stingrays. It probably has to deal with the fact that I'm the idiot who wants to understand her fear. Because if I can understand the mechanics of my fear, then I can defeat it. Not saying I would willingly jump into a shark tank, but you get the picture. A major part of why I understand these species is because I went swimming with them. A few years back, my family went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and my dad booked an event to go swimming with sharks and stingrays. I told him I was confident enough to try, so we hightailed it to a sandbar. I had to convince myself the entire boat ride that I could face these slimy creatures. It took a little more convincing once we reached the mile stretch of clear water. But there I was, shaking in the summer sun as if I had walked barefoot into the snow. I held my breath as I climbed down the ship's ladder and entered the water. I shuffled my feet over to the instructor, who was waiting with a bucket of food for the inhabitants of the sandbar. I stood shivering about 5 feet away, wanting desperately to get back on the boat. My eyes shifted in panic sweeps across the sandbar, wanting to spot my enemy before they surrounded me. My dad shuffled from behind me and nudged me forward, making me lose my footing. With my feet apart, I gaped in horror as a tiny stingray swam between my open legs. I nearly lost my nerve as its skin brushed against mine, a feeling to this day that still makes me squirm. I hated every second for the rest of the encounter. So there we stood, surrounded by stingrays and nurse sharks, waiting for the camera operator to click a button. As he lifted the camera to take the picture, he paused. "You know, if you kiss a stingray, you receive 7 years of good luck." What the actual hell? Was this guy serious? As if I could kiss a stingray. The instructor smiled and asked my dad if he would kiss a ray, and to my astonishment, he agreed. I was mortified when the instructor coaxed a ray towards us with food in his hand, leading my death sentence right to me. My dad frowned at me disapprovingly, and my sister grabbed my arm, leading me towards the ray. My hand glided across the top of its skin, sending shivers down my spine. Everyone waited for me to make up my mind as the ray grew impatient looking for food. Done the unthinkable. I'd kissed a stingray. On the top of its head, just to clarify. The moments of terror I experienced were overwhelming, but I didn't drown. It may seem irrational to you, having a fear of fish, but I'll remind you of that the next time you see a spider. I take my time to understand my fear and tell myself to face these dead-eyed monsters. Just don't push or prod me to get closer. I will get there, in my own time. And who knows, if I can kiss a stingray, who's to say I can't conquer this fear? This is the only friend we made today. The The only one I want to keep, I call him Pudge after Lilo and Stitch because he's cute. I mean, look at him. He's adorable. Pufferfish are just fun. Absolutely love them.
Where's my glasses?
Bye, Pudge. See you later, babe.